Hi everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Chinenye Ogadima, a data professional from Nigeria, and today's video is going to be about everything about grad school, especially in data and AI. So even if you're not in data and AI, you can join in because some of the things that will be talked about in this video can be applied in various fields. And I'm going to be inviting my very good friend, Anthonia Njoku, to join me in this video. Anthonia has such an interesting journey into the data space from studying industrial maths to having an MMath in Africa Institute of Mathematical Sciences. She's currently doing her PhD in Polytechnic Montreal in Canada. I'm really excited to have her with me. The fun fact about Tonia is that we've actually been friends since high school. And I've seen Tonia be so passionate about maths. Back in school, we used to be like a group of friends and we all loved maths so much that we were taking further maths and we would also participate in competitions like Olympiad, and it was really fun. Tonia went on to study industrial maths, myself chemical engineering, someone else electrical engineering, someone else food science. So it was just a beautiful like transition into different aspects of our career and lives. And just seeing Tonia really evolve, being so intentional about her academic journey, and even down to leveraging opportunities, internship opportunities, international opportunities that has made her stand out over time has been so beautiful to see. And I'll be welcoming Tonia right now to introduce herself and just share a bit about her research topic, and then we will delve deeper into the various questions we have. Stay tuned and get everything you need to get to crush your graduate school applications.
Thank you very much, everybody. Like Nate said, I don't want to admit that we were a clique, but sorry, we're a clique. So the people that, should I say, were trying to, I don't think it was anything intentional to break the norm. We're just a silly set of friends that just like sitting at the back to do
Yeah.
tricky, right? So I don't think it was anything intentional that wants to break the norm that backbenchers are the dull ones. No, I don't think we're trying to do that. It was just that we just enjoy sitting at the back, but we're all smart, right? Okay, but yeah, so I and A have come a long way, and like you said, I've always had love for math, and um, because of that, I don't I don't want to feel like on national TV that I'm lazy because I'm not lazy, but I just feel like if there's an easier way to do something, why not? So senior year, like just the last year of school, everybody was like thinking of what they wanted to do, and I'm just like, I'm going to read math. I had many people talk to me that math is not because I always get like 90 to 100. That's not the math, though. Oh, I know. I did like some research and I said I was going to read industrial math. Of course, I like math, but I already knew that I didn't want to be doing like pure math, like the abstract things, right? I like to solve problems and all of that. Long story short, thankfully I found a few schools in Nigeria that do industrial math, and I decided to offer industrial math as a course, and to God be the glory, I got in. So no need to say like my university experience, but thankfully, I studied industrial math because now going forward, I was applying for scholarships, and I applied to African Institute for Mathematical Sciences, and I got into the Cameroon Center, and they had three programs: climate sciences, fundamental math, and then data science. So fundamental math is the math that I already knew from even before university that I did not really like. That's why I didn't study pure math, of course. I just said, oh no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do like data science. And that was basically kind of how I got like, should I say, I won't really call it like when I said transitioning because math is like the mother, right? Math has built all these fields. And besides, that's why it's industrial math, the industrial aspect of mathematics. So I did math and data science in spent on mathematical sciences. How the co-op students, so co-op is like um you do masters and then an internship. I was applying for different internships usually my colleagues, we to be honest, I also applied for leadership, but I
Yeah.
got into I got, should I say, grants. There's this Ivado, they are an affiliate with AIM. They offer grants usually every year. I got into a research internship. It was not like an internship for a company, it was a research internship, and that was where I got to work with this software engineering group. So they needed a machine learning engineer only for machine learning data science because in that lab they worked with eye trackers and
Oh.
very cool stuff. They do like UI UX and they just like try to check how like the human responses and software engineers how do you how do I say, so you can bring out like different research. It just made me understand that research is not boring. It can be boring, let me know life. And you're trying to ask yourself like questions. So for example, while I was in that lab, I saw like they tried to examine with eye tracking data. You try to examine, is this software developer understanding this code or is
Yeah.
this difficult? So you put out different research questions, to be honest. You can just ask different research questions and use eye tracking data. And that was where I saw that. When they said they needed a data scientist on their team, I was like, this is not the data I've been working with, though. I understood that I had to leave the housing price data and all of those like data that I had worked with at AIMS and go into like the real deal, right? Data is not just something that is packaged and organized for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to do the dirty stuff a lot of
Yeah.
times in the real world. So it was very cool. They have carried out the experiment and they wanted me to analyze the data. There was already this Toby software. It came with the eye tracker. And so they already, you see like a lot of, I wouldn't call them jargons, like pupil dilation, fixation, like
Oh.
how long did the person look at this spot? How long did the person move? I learned a lot of words, circuits and all of that. And then you begin to understand that, oh, data science is so you can basically work on different things, right?
Mm-hmm.
As a data scientist, you can work today, you are on this software team, tomorrow you can. So if you're the kind of person like me that likes you you enjoy you enjoy moving, I think that's
Yeah.
how I'll call myself,
Yeah.
right? You don't like to do like just one thing. But then I have to put out a disclaimer. It then makes you have to learn.
Okay.
Because if you're on just one thing, you're already like, it, right?
Mm.
But if you're interested in learning new things, if you don't like put pressure on yourself and you know that, oh, if I learn this, I'll get it. I think it's really, data science is really cool. Get to do different things. From that research internship, I was able to meet a professor and I got my PhD. It's an engineering school, so we didn't really have data science should I say, a department. So we have computer software engineering. Like I said, I came in to a software lab, but I was data scientist. So I'm like, oh, okay, how can I apply myself in this department? I don't want to leave data science per se, but I also have to fit into what they have grants for. So then
Yeah.
looking at things and I'm like, okay, I'm doing a PhD now. PhD is like independent work. What middle ground can I come? So I spoke to my supervisor and I told him that I'm not a software engineer. Like you already know that I've
Yeah.
shown you everything I have. And because I have like mathematics and data science skills, I'd like to do MLOps, that's machine learning ops. So I'm going to learn operations, which is a software engineering thing, and I'm going to bring in my machine learning data science, just
Mhm.
merge them together. Of course, it's a PhD. I cannot come knowing everything.
Of
So I'm
course.
interested in learning like software engineering aspect of it. So he was like, oh, okay, that's cool. You just need to look for a research area. If you know PhD, you know that PhD is trying to find 2 to 3 research gaps in a particular field and you contributing to it in the period of your 4 years, right? So I said, okay. Now along the line, um, I don't know where you're going to get your PhD, like if you're interested in PhD, but usually you're a research assistant because you're funded, right? So he would give you Like there are different companies or groups that are giving him funds and they need research scientists on their work. So different companies that they are engineers, they just want to do the work. You research and tell them what can come out from this, right? So
Yeah.
he has a lot of projects, and because we discussed and I told him that, so I don't want to lecture and
Uh-huh.
that's not my thing. I want to do certain industry, maybe R&D, research and development or full company. He said, okay, and that's another thing you're supposed to do when you start your PhD. You're supposed to communicate. He's going to bring his expectations. If you
Yeah.
bring it's a 4-year collaboration, right? So I already told him my expectations. And so what he did was, and what he's still doing, he brings me company projects, like
Yeah.
research and all of that. He brings me like company projects. And it makes a lot of sense for me because I now get to see in the industry what exactly is what they need and how they are working. Right? I think this is already more than my introduction. This is already like this
Entering
is
into
already like me talking about like transitioning
yeah,
and
it's
and
beautiful.
everything. So I think I'm going to stop now
Uh-huh.
and yeah, and you're going to just ask me deeper like the main questions you want to ask because this is basically like a summary of my journey from
Yeah,
my love for math and where I am right now doing like a PhD in computer software engineering.
yeah. No,
Yeah,
it's
so
beautiful.
over to you, Nene.
It's beautiful, Tonya. Thank you so much for that detailed summary of your journey. I just like when you started talking, I was like, you know what? Let me just give Tonya the space to keep on talking because you really shared like your journey and describing everything.
Okay.
So, but I just want to take you back a bit, just a little bit. So, um, you talked about so the first thing I want to talk about. So, just in case somebody is watching this video and maybe you're in high school too and you love maths and you're trying to like connect. So, maybe can you share a bit about like say certain misconceptions people had with studying maths and then you studying maths and then like the before and after so that maybe someone watching this can be inspired in that journey. Then the second set of people are maybe people that you've already studied industrial maths and maybe you feel like, God, oh, where will I even work? Like, where will I even work as an industrial, mathematician? Like, how do I apply this? So, can you just share certain misconception and how your journey has helped you break those myths?
So I really like this question because I'm about to boast the glory of God. I
Yeah,
have like a lot of colleagues that are in high places. I think that's all I can say. So
yeah,
before I think I said first of all, my parents I I love them and I know that this was what they understood, right? You are very smart. Go and study medicine and surgery. So I think that's the first misconception that smart people, like math is basically for people that did not get
mm.
computer science.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
if you
actually,
are studying, yeah, if you are smart, go and do medicine and surgery or go and do engineering. That is one misconception. So this go and do engineering now, even after I'd entered mathematics, though I think this was also everybody is out of love anyways. So I'm saying I think this was also because of how math department in my school like was known to be. Like some people like just repeat years.
mm.
You it's a 4-year course, but people stay there for like 6 years for so many reasons. Some of the reasons are personal on their end. Some of the reasons, let me be honest with you, is from the lecturers. And some people just told me go to engineering. See your 100 level very smart results. Go to engineering,
Yeah.
right? So people just felt like if you are very good, do medicine and surgery, do engineering. What is math? Another misconception people had, and my old friend, like I said, everything was out of love, told me that math is very hard. To be honest with you, math is very hard.
Yeah.
But you can do it. I have friends, like very graduating students, these guys, we're all together and we are all still like, there is nothing so special. Like, you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. Yeah.
You can do it,
Mm-hmm.
right? You can do it. You can do it. These are for the guys that are thinking about doing math. Now, let us go to the guys that are already doing math. Those guys that, like people had always said, they came in from, they didn't get, because Nigeria does this kind of thing. Like if you apply for a higher, they give you lower. And in fact, math is very hard. The reason why people are coming from other places is because people are not applying to math. I
True.
think that's why the cutoff mark is low, that they bring people from other places because math is hard. I have to be honest with you. So you telling somebody that is because you don't get computer or you don't get mechanical, that's why you are in math. I don't know if that's supposed to make you sad or something. Anyways, now let's say for people, because I met a lot of people in my 100 level, they were very surprised that I applied for math because just like everybody assumed, many people from my department came from other, but like they applied for other departments and didn't get one. So I have to tell them that. But you're here now.
Yeah.
But you're here now. What are you going to do about it now? That's the same thing I'm going to ask you right now. And I'm going to use a couple of my friends' stories to tell you that. To be honest, you're in basically maybe one of the best fields in this world. I have a lot of friends that have moved to actuarial sciences. They are doing taxation,
Wow.
right? They're in finance. They're in data science. I'm bragging. I have friends in Microsoft, or at least maybe I have to say colleagues. I don't like to. So, they're my acquaintances. Let me put it like that. But we sat in the same class together,
Yeah.
right? So many of my friends, these are my friends now. So many of my friends got into First Bank headquarters without. I don't even think they did. They didn't do so much, to be honest, because they had like math background. For crying out loud, you graduated. You're a weak kid, man. So don't
Yeah.
ask yourself. So like just think about you finish your math. Just do well. Don't ask yourself like before. And education is good, please. Education is good. You can do math. You can see it. It's good. But if that's not your ultimate, don't worry yourself and say that not that me, math. The only thing I can do is basic. No,
Mm-hmm.
you can do so many things. I'm doing a course now because this is my first year in my PhD,
Yeah.
right? I'm doing a course on like conventional neural networks. Like these are like models, machine learning models. And this course is is math because I'm doing a PhD, so I'm not just learning just the coding aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm learning the mathematics, optimization, gradient descent, backpropagation. If I didn't have math knowledge, if I didn't have like some real analysis, if I didn't have some of this knowledge, the epsilon that I learned in school, I'm epsiloning it now. So please hold your math with your full chest. If you're currently doing math, you would be glad you did.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Wow. Wow. Thank you, Tonya. Like I'm sure this is going to help a lot of people. Thank you. And this thing you said is really true. Like the world is bigger than just engineering and medicine. There are lots of options there. And
Yeah.
it really like from you describing it now, you've also broken down even certain misconception I myself had, just seeing how vast maths can be applied. You know, in school, how they tell us, all this DYDS you're doing, it just ends in school, but just seeing how you describe like real life people, like your colleagues, different things you're doing in finance, tech. It's so inspiring. Thank you so much. Then I'm going to take you back a bit from your master's MMAT, data science, AIMS, Cameroon. Now, what will I say? What you know how people look down on? Oh, you're doing a master's in Africa. You're doing a master's in Cameroon. Like, why didn't you apply to, I don't know, Europe or US or Canada? Because some people maybe at that moment, maybe you experience like such maybe feedback or criticism when you were applying to AIMS Cameroon. Like, why you applying to AIMS? And just seeing where you are now, and this is not even the end, but just seeing where you are now and the journey, it's just such an eye opener. So can you just talk a little bit about AIMS Cameroon and like the education there? Maybe people that also face this fear can also share, because from what you said, you talked about your internship opportunity in your current school in Canada, and that was because AIMS had this, good network or collaboration with the departments.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
just Can you share that with, so that people will know like
Yeah.
you can still get good stuff from here? Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you very much. So the truth is, I'm not about to brag, but I know myself that I'm not in the journey that everybody is in. And I think that's how I live my life, right? Now, when the truth, I applied for AIMS in South Africa, actually. So AIMS has, I'm about to rep AIMS now. AIMS has centers, you can check it. If AIMS has centers in like 5 places in Africa, so you apply and then they'll ask you if you're okay with getting into other AIM centers. And if you say yes, they can put you in any other AIM center. Now, AIM Cameroon had 60 slots, but I think AIM South Africa had 30. That's going to be highly competitive. So
Yeah.
I thank God that I even put that I can take another spot, right?
Yeah.
So I got into AIM. So your application is basically open to all the AIM centers once you say you can take another slot. So I got a call from AIMS Cameroon. I did an interview with them and I got into AIMS Cameroon. And this thing that Nene said, I don't think I ever told her. They, of course, you will say, what are you doing in Cameroon?
Mm.
So the people that I are close to me enough for me to, okay, what's my business with you? That's your business. For those that are close enough to me, I told them that I'm not going to school in Cameroon, right? I'm going to uh, and it has this very large network of lecturers that come in from different countries to teach here. So It's not like I'm leaving Nigeria, like I'm going to do another Nigeria. I'm still, even if this aims were in Nigeria, I like it would still be standard. Do you
Yeah.
understand? So because I had this understanding, I was not even phased. No, from the day I landed in Cameroon, I took pictures.
Yeah, I saw them.
So I did not allow myself to be shy or embarrassed.
Yeah.
I know that people are leaving from bachelors to go and do like what's it called? Masters in like the US, the UK. I don't care. That's them. That's the journey they are on. And this is my own journey. So how the post say it? I exalted my office,
Yeah.
right? And I think with the way I portrayed Ames, I got like I started receiving like a lot of people saying that I want to go to Ames. How do I? I'm very proud. I'm very proud of that. Yes. So I didn't get embarrassed, and I wasn't concerned about what they said. I showed them Cameroon. This is Cameroon. I made sure that people like I did not hide where I was, and it also helped my mentality to seek opportunities, knowing that I'm here for a reason. So when opportunities came, like I remember that there was a time, and it was God that did this because if it did not come at the time it did, I don't even think I would have gone, even when I got the scholarship. So AIMS is a very vast network, right? Like I said, in Africa alone, they have five. And then we are making efforts. I would say we because I'm an AIMS alumni and we are a family. We make efforts continually to get um, connections to different organizations. I think there is like AIMS X Oxford. One of my MasterCard representatives like myself from AIMS because there was an AIMS partnership with a school in Finland, I think Finland.
Yeah.
With AIMS, he went to Finland. We are so many. I have people currently that from AIMS, they went to the UK.
Yeah.
From AIMS, like many people with AIMS partnerships alone go from AIMS, just like I went from AIMS Ivado. So there are so many partnerships that AIMS is trying to build with organizations all over the world. And let's leave the partnerships alone first. Let's now talk of the people you see alone in AIMS, the lecturers that come to you. You spend a very short time with these lecturers, but in that short time, when you present yourself like as a sensible person, you talk to lecturers. I have a friend that his PhD, this guy kept applying. He's a Nigerian like me. He kept applying for masters because he felt like he needed to do another masters. He kept applying for masters, but the lecturer he met in our program saw that this guy was good. He directed, in fact, he told his colleague because he already knew what my friend wanted to do, like in future, like malaria modeling. Or I think mathematical modeling, not necessarily malaria. That was not his own research field, but he had a friend that was his research field. My friend told me that this lecturer connected that other lecturer to him. And he didn't apply for his PhD. He only did an interview. Now he's doing his PhD in Germany. So these are the opportunities you get when you join in. I'm not if you finish your bachelor's and you get into a university outside of Africa, good. But if you haven't, apply for there are so many there's I think PAU Pan Atlantic or is it I don't know what they call it, Pan African. There are so many African organizations. I don't know what they are like, but I went through AIMS and I know what AIMS is like. And I know that you receive lecturers from everywhere. If you communicate with these people, okay, even those that, let's assume you don't even get to work with them in their own labs. The recommendation you get from these lecturers, because they are big lecturers that are coming to teach you, the recommendation you get from them is able to position you in a good place. So I think that yes, if you have the opportunity, do apply to AIMS. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tonya. You're such a good ambassador for AIMS, but also I've actually seen I've actually seen the like Beautiful work. The other question I wanted to ask, so you mentioned something now that would lead into my next question. You talked about how the lecturer saw that your friend, was good and recommended them. And this leads me to the question. So it's one thing to apply for grad school or and whatnot, but how do you leverage this opportunity in a way that it's impactful in your journey? Because maybe some other people that attended the same program, they might not have had the same outputs. I don't know the statistics, but my question is basically like what things did you do to make the best use of this opportunity?
Okay, I'm going to be very direct here. First of all, I recognize the grace of God upon my life. Like Tina just said, everybody has not had the same output as I have or as some of my other colleagues have had. And it's not because they've not worked hard. We all have different journeys and God is taking us through different places. Oh, I'm a Christian, sorry. I'm not sorry, but I recognize the importance of God's grace in my life. But then I also know that I have done some things. So, for example, I had the opportunity to go to AIMS Rwanda while I was still in AIMS Cameroon. We received like some emails. There's going to be this, there's going to be that. I saw that there was going to be a data workshop. I applied. That's the first thing. See opportunities and apply. The data workshop was going to be in the period when I was going to be having my school. I just told myself, apply first and get the scholarship to go. You'll find a way. And by the grace of God, God did everything. I found a way. I stayed in Rwanda for 1 month free. I even got a stipend. So the most important thing you can do in your life is to be strategic. Apply for things. Apply for things. When you get them, the world will arrange itself for you. Another thing is still part of being strategic. Know where you are going to. I knew that I wanted to do an internship, and honest to God, I knew I didn't want to do it in Cameroon. So I was applying for scholarships or opportunities outside of Cameroon. Now, this Ivado particularly, I knew about Ivado. So I went to meet my academic director and I told him I wanted to get Ivado opportunity. He told me when they call out, like when they send out applications to Ivado, it's usually for graduates, like AIMS alumni. But then I had registered my interest. You can see. Now, when they called in, I don't know if it changed or just maybe because I was a co-op student, I was basically already a graduate,
Yeah.
but it was just mainly my internship. They selected of course, they selected graduates from all over AIMS, and then they selected some very good co-op students, and they put all of us in the what's it called, application phase. So because they first have to do a shortlisting, then those shortlisted would go into that application phase, which is the competition. Now, even if I failed the competition and I didn't get into Ivado, I made a move. So don't just sit down there, make moves. And that's still part of you being strategic. Many of my colleagues, like I said, knew with the fields they wanted to work in, and they met those lecturers particularly. So in life, it's not even about in life. Know where you're going to and make strategic moves to get to that place. Then let God help you with the rest.
Thank you so much, Tonya. I love everything you said. And honestly, even in my journey, I also acknowledge like God, because it's easy to say, oh, it's all my strength, it's all my strategy and everything. But you see that at every point in at every point in our lives, God is like directing us on, certain
Mm.
actions to take. And then it's left for us to on our part to take those actions. And from what you said,
Yeah.
like
to know.
Action, reaching out to the graduate coordinator, applying for opportunities, even when it feels like, okay, I don't meet 100% of the criteria. And it's also
Mhm.
something I always say, like,
Of the, yeah.
don't self reject. Apply first. Like, you never know if you're going to be accepted or not. So
Mhm.
why you rejecting yourself, you know? And that's really powerful. Thank you so much, Tonia. I know you've talked a bit about the project you're currently
Thank
doing
you.
in your PhD, but I don't know if you wanted to maybe talk about a little bit more so that people can see how, will I say, diverse your PhD experience is. Because yes, it's research, but I also really love that you're getting to work with real time data. So it's not just working on dummy data now, but this is like real data that affects maybe a company's life or affects real people. So can you just maybe pick maybe two projects that you really love right now in your journey and just share a bit about it?
Okay, so I said that my supervisor has really been giving me like company projects. So I signed NDA for some. I wouldn't go into details. Just give like an overview. So there is um this company I'm currently working on their projects. We're trying to measure vigilance, and we use like eye tracking data, EEG, and yeah, we do like a lot of things. So that those are very raw data. We try to label them, and the label to be honest with you, we try to get like a relationship. Is there any relationship? Can we find any relationship with how these people are doing this task and their brain waves or their eye movements or whatever? So these are like data that you just receive from scratch. It's a very big work. When you finally find out what you are doing, you can then like proceed to do like a machine learning for the models to actually read deeper meaning into it. There's another project I'm on. This one is not like a data science project. It's just like a project on like LLMs, unit test generation. So I said that I'm in a software lab, so I have to be like meet in the middle. So I'm doing like some software engineering stuff also, as well as the one I already know, which is like machine learning. I'm generating unit tests with LLMs. So using OpenAI's APIs, and trying to use GPT-4 to generate codes, and then trying to analyze in the first place if these codes are the kind of codes that humans would create and all whatnot. So yeah, they're like very exciting projects that you can work on depending on your field. I think that if you decide to do like a grad study, I think it's a lot of hard work, especially when you're writing like papers and all whatnot. And imagine sometimes if the reviewers are even saying that all the things that you did is not a contribution. So it's a lot of hard work, but at the end of it, I think it's worth it.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Tonia. Thank you so much. This has really been a wonderful, impactful session. So maybe you can just share a little bit of encouragement for people that want to apply to grad school, especially in data and AI.
So thank you very much, Leah. I really enjoyed my time here. And just a little encouragement. I would I would always say that you should just do what you can. Send out. I'm not a statistician, but at least I've done some statistics, and I know that the probability is high, especially when you are improving your applications. Probability is high that you would eventually get a scholarship or an admission when you send out more applications, right? If you send out so you may not get called. If you send out 10, the probability that you get called increases. Imagine you send out 15. Now, I'm Nigerian, so I understand that grad school applications are expensive. I would advise that you join maybe networks or, I don't know, just take advantage of those periods where they say free application week. There are usually those periods.
Yeah.
And try to apply to as many schools as you can apply that give those free applications. Or I think some people give like waiving vouchers,
Yeah.
something like that. So I'm just trying to tell you that please keep holding on, apply, let people read your application. I sent some applications to so many people. Okay, maybe not so many, but people that I know that they've done, that finished from good MBAs. I know that they are good with applications. Reach
Yeah.
out to them and let them see your applications. Let your applications be better. Also, maybe a mistake that people make is you're applying to different schools and you're using one application. It's going to stress you, but change your application, change your SOP. They have different courses there. They have different things that make the school unique. So don't tell Polytechnic Montreal that I want to join your school because there is a beach here. Which beach? Go tell, like, so you understand, just
Yeah.
make sure that your application is changing to that school's um features, right? And God will help you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Tonya. This has been so impactful. If you could explain a bit about AI ops, because I saw it and I know I've heard of dev ops, but AI ops, is it new? Like, what's it about? And okay, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So the thing is, like I'm in research and we have to like give a contribution. DevOps is already like in the field, engineering like is already there, giving like a new contribution to that field. Like you have to really look for something that people have not contributed. But AI ops is new. So AI ops is like artificial intelligence, bringing it into production,
Okay.
right? So it's just like development and operations. So artificial intelligence bringing it to production. So like using like reinforcement learning, using AI,
Okay.
now passing them through a pipeline and automation that you eventually use in the field. So
Okay.
there's still a lot of, it's still very new and there's still like a lot of things that you can contribute into it. So it's, for now it's a very good PhD research field. When they have now done like a lot of contributions to it and there are not so many things to contribute anymore, it then it's going to be very difficult to contribute to. So
Yeah.
I think that like there is no field anyways, to be honest, that you cannot contribute to.
Yeah.
But it's just how hard it will be for you to find a gap or how easy it will be for you to find a gap. So in
Oh,
most of these new fields, it's easier to find a research gap.
yeah.
So yeah. But
Thank
AI is just like artificial intelligence in production.
you. All right. Thank you so much, Tonya. Thank you for your time, and I can stop recording now. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you. This was really beautiful. And
That's cool features, right? And God will help you.
yeah, thank you so much, Tonya. This has been so impactful. If you could explain a bit about AI ops, because I saw it and I know I've heard of dev ops, but AI ops, is it new? Like, what's it about?
Yeah. So the thing is, like I'm in research and we have to like give a contribution. DevOps is already like in the field, engineering like is already there, giving like a new contribution to that field. Like you have to really look for something that people have not contributed. But AI ops is new. So AI ops is like artificial intelligence, bringing it into production,
Okay.
right? So it's just like development and operations. So artificial intelligence bringing it to production. So like using like reinforcement learning, using AI,
Okay.
now passing them through a pipeline and automation that you eventually use in the field. So
Okay.
there's still a lot of, it's still very new and there's still like a lot of things that you can contribute into it. So it's for now it's a very good PhD research field. When they have now done like a lot of contributions to it, and there are not so many things to contribute anymore, it then is going to be very difficult to contribute to. So
Yeah.
I think that like there is no field anyways, to be honest, that you cannot contribute to.
Yeah.
But it's just how hard it will be for you to find a gap, or how easy it will be for you to find a gap. So in
Mm.
most of these new fields, it's easier to find a research gap.
Yeah.
So yeah. But
Yeah.
AI is just like artificial intelligence in production.
All right. Thank you so much, Tonya. Thank you for your time, and I can stop recording now. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you. This was really beautiful.